Welcome back to another video Harmony Piece. I would like to talk about being vulnerable. Vulnerable to the point where I know when we're younger, we've managed to condition ourselves to the point where we've been told to keep quiet, stop crying, not to express our feelings because of it might seem weak in ourselves as individuals. But the thing I have to say was very important is that when you been in that situation and has been as an adult and you can't express your emotions and you can't express your feelings because of the way you've been conditioned when you're younger, early age, you've been programmed to our brains subconsciously like a computer, and then what's been processed and what's been said to us is installed us when we're younger. As we get older, and it all depends on how we see things and in our own environment and the people that we hang around with as well, which is very important. It's about rewiring the brain and putting new things, what to be said in the brain, whatever you've been taught when you're younger, which I feel I have to say, even for myself, when I was younger, how my dad used to say to me, stop crying, don't express your feelings, can't be vulnerable, can't express how you feel, who you truly want to be, your authentic self, which is very important. And it's where I think sometimes guys do struggle with that. And I feel it's very important to express how you feel, because what happens over due time, the mind plays like a loop in your brain. So, for example, you get up in the morning, someone annoys you, right? You play that over in your head. And the reason why you don't shift it is because of whatever you've said to yourself, whatever you said to your brain. Your brain is like a Rottweiler. If you don't look after it and walk it, it will walk you. So you have to put something else in your brain to rephrase what's been said to you in the morning, or if someone's annoyed you. I'll give you another example. When I was at work and I was taking one of the young kids to activity, I had another kid, don't know the kid, he said nigger, shout out loud. Now what I did was I processed that quickly in my brain and thought, okay, it's a word, doesn't mean nothing. If that was the early version of myself, I would have processed that differently and I would have got triggered because I've not managed to regulate and think, okay, does this serve me a purpose? Or I'm going to lash out. But also, on the flip side of that, you've got to understand as well, I had another kid with me who I thought in that moment, he mirrors me, how I respond. So I respond in a different way. I didn't respond off the point of, I'm going to punch the kid because it doesn't look really good. And it's not, I don't set example for the young person who I work with, which my brain shifted straight away. Didn't get triggered, didn't get wound up. What I said to the kid that I was working with, he was not happy, not with me, what was said. So I said, listen, it's a word. It may be people he hangs around with. It could be the way he's been brought up. It could be in his environment. It could be in multiple things. So I said to the young person that, listen, it's done. I said, that was me 3 years ago. That would have been a complete different response. So I had to really put something else in there. Even though the N words was said to me, I took that out and look, you know what? Maybe he doesn't understand the word. Maybe there's peer pressure. Maybe, again, he's been told to say that. But I kept on walking. I kept on moving because it doesn't serve me that purpose, but also to understand that somewhere down the line, you'll understand the young person, not the one I'm walking with them activity, the one who said it was at the park. So which was very thoughtful, how I responded and how he saw me respond in that moment as well. And also it's being vulnerable and talking about things and to be sitting with your own emotions. How's that feel for you? How's that look for you as a person? So you could be in a difficult conversation with someone. It could be a friend. It could be a work colleague. And something where you both might have a discussion or topic. Halfway through the conversation now, it could be something that she might say to you and you could get triggered But you got to remember is to hold space, let that person speak, and don't lose your temper. If they're being polite to you and calm, even if they feel a bit of a way where they've raised a voice up, you stay neutral, but you speak your mind and speak your truth. But also to pause, because even I said before when I was younger, I've always been taught to keep quiet and not to express my feelings. So when it comes to being vulnerable or to speak my mind in any situation, I've been told to keep quiet. And when I look at it now and I have to kind of rewire, say other things to myself, and what I say to myself, Sean, it's okay, keep yourself safe. Anyone can say this, or just let it go, it will pass. Meaning, let it go, it will pass. Brain, can you give me a calming thought? Or brain, can you let me see something else different in this conversation? Because there could be more things you could say to yourself. But another thing of what I feel is important, because the way the brain gets tricked and what's been said, you internalize that with your thoughts, because words are not real. It's what you process. Don't forget, you process everything every day, what your brain does visually see. So if you see something that you're not happy with, or someone says something to you, you internalize that, and then that carries on, and then it gets bigger and bigger. So you just have to catch yourself and think, is that real? Does that really serve me a purpose? And then this will go on. But also to be active, very active, and go out, go for walks, go to the gym, socialise, and talk to other people. But also do this in a safe space for you, where you feel comfortable in yourself, you feel comfortable with the people around you as well, which is very important, especially you in that position, because vulnerable is also a strength, but also to understand yourself in so many ways where you feel that you've shut yourself off for so long. I know I've done that in the past years ago, and I feel the more I'm starting to kind of go for that path and helping other people, it's to see that it's okay to be that and to be vulnerable, to be open, to be transparent, but hold your space and to be firm and with your boundaries, because the boundaries is another thing which is important. Stick with your boundaries, which will come a long way when you're having conversations with people or friends or family, because without boundaries, you leave the door wide open. You can be vulnerable, you can express and you feel and talk about things that you feel comfortable, things that I'd say when you was younger that which made you feel upset. I spoke about these things and things that I felt I was scared of, things that I felt ashamed of, but also at the same time it's growth to understand not everything sits there and not everything stays where it is, because sometimes growth can be uncomfortable, but you have to give yourself praise, because even the difficult things what we say to ourselves, and we have to overcome our fears, our demons and our shadows, which I know at times it can be hard, and sometimes we can pull away and not actually challenging ourselves, because also I believe to order to grow you have to challenge the old version of yourself, where that can be reformed and born, and these are step by step, because the brain is still holding on to the past version of themselves to order to grow, to move forward. And also when you're moving forward, you might feel uncomfortable because the brain is shifting from that version. It's having to put in the thoughts back out. It's like a file in facts. You take one thought where you think, okay, that's not true, and put it in something else. Because you got to remember something as well. As each day goes by, there's always going to have thoughts that you've done something positive, but we don't give yourself enough credit. This is where you have to pause, take a breather, and reflect to where you've come. And even comes to the conversation where you felt comfortable with, be proud of that as well at the same time, because there's always something down the line that we'd be proud of, the things that we achieved. which you have to give yourself credit, because what happens is we get up every day and we go to work, go to college, job, whatever that looks to you in your life. But I said it to someone the other day, well, even today, I said, you got to give yourself more credit, because we try to be perfectionists to a certain extent. We overthink, we try to correct things, we try to think, you know what, these things can change. Can this change? And these are the things I feel that we have to look and think, you know what, I can make amends, I can make a change, I can do these things for myself. I've said journaling helps, going to the gym helps, the right food helps, the dieting helps, speaking to friends, close people, what you feel safe with. Even if you have to cry, I've done that. It's okay to cry. It helps to release all that emotions in your system, which is very, very important. And I see these things over time gradually helps where you are in your own life, the way you want to move forward in your own life, which is very massive as well, which I have to understand that at times we don't want to feel vulnerable. We don't want to feel that we're going to have to open up. But when you're around in that environment and the people that is close to you, and you can feel it in your nervous system that you're in a safe space, which you can feel comfortable, you'll feel okay, and you can express your feelings. It's good to express your feelings, not to shut them off, because what happens is we go into this point of keep ourselves busy, and this depression comes in. It's been suppressed because we're keeping ourselves busy and we don't pay attention. Pay attention to the small things. Catch yourself and think, how am I feeling today? Write it down in the journal. How's my day been? What's come up today? What have I challenged myself? The more you do this, the more your brain will reprogram over time. Don't stress. Don't get agitated. Don't get angry thinking nothing's changing. You have to be gentle and kind with yourself. Talk to a friend. Reflect on the week. And these are very key points in your life. Never, and I say never, talk negative about yourself. When you're being vulnerable and you open up the things that you're struggling with, things slowly get better. Things gradually, over time, will help. And it takes step by step. Okay? Thank you again for listening to another video. I said in my Instagram, this is the last video as I'm going on retreat from the 8th of May to the 11th. It's a massive retreat. Thank you for listening to me. It's a pleasure. And I'll see you soon in the next video. Take care. Goodbye.